Subscribe to AmpCode and ring the notification bell to get the latest content.
DStreams. So DStreams are nothing but will represent the continuous streams of data in the Apache Spark streaming and is the abstraction of the Spark streaming. So basically DStream will store the data in the RDDs itself. So if we talk about the input data will come in real time and it will get converted by the DStreams into micro batches. And these DStreams are nothing but the RDDs which contains the smaller chunks of data gets processed. So if you want to apply some flat map operation on top of it, so let's say if you have the different lines of data coming in at the real time, and if you want to count the word from those lines, you will have the different RDD which stores the lines coming at a certain velocity. So if you have a window of maybe 2 seconds, so then it will take every RDD will have the lines coming at every 2 seconds. And also if you apply the flat map operation, count the words from those lines. So basically it will have parallel RDDs which will contain the word in this RDD. These streams are nothing but basic abstractions in Spark streaming, but also it operates on the RDDs as we have seen. But as you already know, RDDs are really older and the core API of Spark. But nowadays everyone are using data frames only because of its simple use as well as great performance on the structured data. So basically there comes the Spark structured streaming in the picture, which is really popular nowadays, and every application is already using only the structured streaming and not the DStreams, and it has various advantages as well. So let's talk about the structured streaming now. So let's discuss the Spark structured streaming in detail. So basically in the Spark structured streaming, the data could be coming in a structure, which means that in a row and columnar format. So basically the input stream, we can call it as a row. So let's say if you have like the input stream, so we have this input stream. So this input stream could be like in the format of the row and the column. So let's say it has 4 columns and we received the row here, and we will be having something called as a outbounded table, or we can say it as a input table. So basically this table is nothing but a data frame. So this is a DF which holds few records, let's say for example, and it has that 4 columns, and this is like our input table. So each record which we process is nothing but will add up and append it to this table. So let's say if we get another record in maybe 1 or 2 seconds for example, so this records will get appended to the input table. So let's say this data frame will get updated with these new records for every interval. So which means that the every record or every row is like the nothing but appends to our input table. So our input table is nothing but the data frame, since the Spark structure streaming operates on the dataset and the data frame APIs. So basically what it does is, once we have like the 2-second intervals for example, and we are receiving few transactions from any transactional source system, so we will receive that data. So let's say every 2 seconds we are receiving almost 100 records, then 100 records get will appended into the input table. So what it does is, but this is just about the input table. Once we apply the transformation, so this transformation and whole logic which we need in our output data is nothing but we will call it and represented as a query. So this is our architect. So this is our basic programming model, and at below let's talk about the query now. So basically this will be our input table, and this is the time series basically. So our records will get increased per second. Let's say this is like the input table 1, so this is I1, then the input 2. So basically it will get appended over time as per the window and the data which we receive. So this will be our input here, and once the data is received, it also processes the data in real time. So basically what it will apply is the query. So like in the DStream, we have applied the flat map operation to get the count of words from receiving lines. So basically in here this will call it as a query, which is nothing but the transformation we want in our input table. and our input table will have this query. So this is nothing but the query or the logic we need, and this will be like the output table. So this will result in the output table, which is then consumed by any other sources or any dashboard, or we can dump them into S3 or the HDFS. So there are so many data formats it provides. So as an input, we can get the data from Kafka, Kinesis, anything, and also we will apply them. So this will get into some micro batches and then process it in real time and get appended into our result table. So these are nothing but our result tables. So these are the result tables. But there are like several modes in which Spark structured streaming will operate. So let's talk about them in detail. So as we have talked about the programming model, there are like several write modes that is supported by the Apache Spark structured streaming. So basically these are modes applicable to your use cases and tailor different needs. So the first one is the complete mode, which we are going to use in our example. So basically in complete mode, the entire updated result table will be written to the external storage. So external storage could mean like a file system or HDFS or any file directory if you are just getting started. So it is up to like the storage connector to decide how to handle the writing of this data of this entire table. So basically complete mode is only suitable for fewer use cases which handles like the smaller data set. We also have the append mode. So in append mode, it is only updating the new rows in the result table, and since the last trigger, so it will get written to the external storage. So basically append mode will only append the new rows in that result table. So basically it is only suitable for those applications where your rows are not expected to change. So existing rows should not be updated. So if you're talking about the transaction which is made by some user, we know that the transaction could not be changed. So this is a fixed record. So in that case, we can rely on the append mode. And if we talk about the update mode, only the rows that are updated in the result table since last trigger will be returned to the external storage. So these are all the modes for writing the data. So it's up to you what is your use case, how much data you're handling, and if there are any changes in the future in your existing incoming data. So if the data is huge, you can rely on append mode, and if like the data is getting updated, you can rely on the update mode, but you can also explore complete mode. So let's talk about them in our script.
So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next lecture.